Mukam karate vachalam bangam langate kirim yakipantam hambande Srigurum dinatarinam Om Gyana Timirandasya Gyananjara Sharakaya Chakshumidakam Yata Samad Srigurave Namaha Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vistaya Bhutane Shimate Bhakti Vedanta Samini Inamine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvani Pracharine Nirvisheshishunyavadi Pasya Yadishatarine. So there's a verse in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, chapter 4, verse 89, about Radharani. In fact, that whole chapter 4 in Adi Lila is about Radharani. So we'll be quoting from that chapter extensively. Ottoye Sarva Puja Paramadevata Sarvapalika Sarvajakatera Mata. Radha is Parama Devata, supreme goddess, and she's worshipable for everyone. She is a protectress of all, and she is a mother of the entire universe. So Radharani is our mother. A mother sacrifices everything for the benefit of the child. When I was in Nepal, in one class, someone asked the question, isn't Durga our mother? Because in Nepal, they like to worship Durga, they like to worship Shiva. And I said, actually, Durga is the mother of our body, but Radharani is the mother of our soul. So Krishna is the all-attractive object of love, and Radha is the compassionate nature, the supreme lover, or the abode of love, origin of all love. So she's the mercy incarnation of Krishna, and she expands as her gopis, Lakshmis, wives, as Guru, and as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So when I was giving a class to the Gurukul kids in Vrindavan, one child raised his hand and asked me, did Radharani go to Gurukul? And I said, no, she learned in a different way. It's described in Bhagavatam, 2nd canto, 3rd chapter, verse 24. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Srila Vyasadeva, incarnation of Vasudeva, who compiled the Vedic scriptures. The pure devotees drink up the transcendental knowledge dropping from the lotus-like mouth of the Lord. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur said, when Krishna transfers his nectar from his lips to his consorts, then they learn the finer arts of music, dance, dressing, decorations, and all such things relished by the Lord. So that was how the gopis learned, by kissing Krishna. They learn everything. And but that same nectar that Krishna gave them is coming to us in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam. Same nectar. And that's how we can learn all those things. We can learn everything by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. And Prabhupada, in the purport, he says, the pure devotees of the Lord can equally relish the nectar in the form of profound philosophical discourses or in the form of kissing by the Lord in the rasa dance, as there is no mundane distinction between the two. So think about that. Kissing in the rasa dance is the same as hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. So everyone should go to Bhagavatam class. Radharani, when she was born, she was very beautiful, but she was blind. She didn't want, because when Krishna was preparing to come to this earth, he told Radharani, I want you to come. And she said, well, I don't want to see anyone else except you. So I'll come, but the first person I will see must be you. So she was blind because she wanted to see Krishna first. So when Krishna came to visit Radharani's family with his mother, he climbed down from Yashoda's lap, went to Radharani's room, climbed into her bed, and touched her eyes. And immediately she opened her eyes and took darshan of her beloved Krishna. Then the Anaprashan, the ceremony of rain ceremony, when others were talking, Radharani went and took the remnants of Krishna's plate. That was her grain ceremony. And so in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is said, Devi Krishna Mai Prokta Radhika Paradevata Saralakshmi Mai Sarvashanti Samahini Para. Transcendental goddess Srimati Radharani is the direct counterpart of Krishna. She's a central figure for all goddesses of fortune. She possesses all attractiveness to attract the all attractive Krishna. She is the primeval internal potency of the Lord. So Krishna Mai means one who is inside and outside are Krishna. She sees Krishna wherever she casts her glance. Or Krishna Mai means she's identical with Krishna because she embodies the mellows of love. So the energy of Krishna is identical with him. And Prabhupada explains that there's two important things about Krishna Mai. A person who always thinks of Krishna within and without and always remembers him, only Krishna. Wherever he goes, whatever he sees is called Krishna Mai. And since Krishna's personality is full of love, his loving potency, Radharani, being non-different, is called Krishna Mai. So then Chaitanya Charitamrita says, Krishna Vancha Purti Rupakari Aradhane Otoe Radhika Nama Puraneva Kyane. Her worship, Aradhana, consists of fulfilling desires of Krishna. So the Puranas call her Radhika. The word Radha is coming from the word Aradhana, which means worship. The one who excels everyone in worshiping Krishna can be called Radhika, greatest servitor. And that's why Krishna left the Rasadans to take her alone and left everyone else behind. So she's Paramadevata, she's Queen of Bhakti. Gita also is she's hidden in Gita in chapter 9, verse 13. Mahatmanas tuam parta daivim prakritim ashitaha. That the Mahatmas, they worship under the protection of Daivi Prakriti, and that is Radharani. So everyone needs protection. We all need protection. That's why the Mahatmas, they take shelter of Daivi Prakriti, Radharani. Krishna is not alone. He's always with Radharani. So first we have to take shelter of Krishna's energy, Radharani. And that's why in Vrindavan, everyone chants Jai Radhe, Radhe Radhe, rickshawalas, shopkeepers, everyone. It's Radhe Radhe. On the trees, it's Radhe Radhe. Because she's the one who can help us go to Krishna. Through Radharani, we can go to Krishna. So that's why Srila Prabhupada, in his one lecture of Radhastami, he said we should put the flower in the hand of Radharani and she will give it to Krishna. That way, Krishna will get it for sure if we give it to Radha. So she's in charge of devotional service. When I was Pujari in Calcutta, Srila Prabhupada told us that this deity worship is under the control of Srimati Radharani. She's our boss. And she's the one who is actually in charge, in control. Nectar of Devotion, chapter 1, Prabhupada says the same thing. To perform devotional service means to follow in the footsteps of Radharani. And devotees in Vrindavan put themselves under her protection, under her care. So because devotional service is not something of this world, it is from the spiritual world. Now, Nectar of Devotion, chapter 22, talks about how Krishna has the quality of compassion. So, and Prabhupada says there in Nectar of Devotion, instead of offering obeisances to Krishna directly, devotees offer obeisances to his compassionate nature. That's Radharani. She is the compassionate nature of Krishna. Krishna is very difficult to approach. He's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But devotees taking advantage of his compassionate nature, represented by Radharani, pray to Radharani for Krishna's compassion. Now, Krishna enchants the whole world. Everyone is enchanted. But Radharani enchants even Krishna. So she's a supreme goddess. Again, Chitan Shaitamita Govinda Nandini Radha Govinda Mohini Govinda Sarasasara Kanta Shiromani. Radha is the one who gives pleasure to Govinda. And she is the enchantress of Govinda. She is the be-all and end-all of Govinda and crest jewel of all his consorts. So Krishna, he's called Madan Mohan because his beauty enchants hundreds and thousands of cupids. So this is Canto 3, Chapter 15, verse 42, purport. And it's also described he becomes mad after the beauty of Radharani. So although he is Madan Mohan, he becomes Madan Daha, or controlled, enchanted by the beauty of Radharani. So in Vaikuntha, Narayana is more beautiful than Lakshmi. But in Goloka, Krishna, Radharani is more beautiful. When I was Pujari, they told me you have to make Radharani more beautiful than Krishna. That was how they taught us. Radharani must be more beautiful than Krishna. So yes, if you're Pujari, you can know that. That's what Prabhupada said. So he's Madan Mohan, bewildered of how did Krishna get that name, Madan Mohan, bewildered of Cupid? Well, one time Cupid came to Krishna asking for the benediction that he could bewilder him or his devotees. So Krishna said, yes, you may come to Rasalila. So many gopis will come in. Many of them are newcomers. So yes, when we leave our bodies, if we leave perfectly, we'll go to the universe where Krishna is practicing his pastimes, and we will be instructed and we will learn from the eternal devotees how to behave. So Krishna said, yes, in Rasalila, there's many new ones. Maybe if you go there, surely you can bewilder someone in the Rasalila. So after Cupid left, Krishna began to have second doubts. He confided in Radharani and said, I need your help. I gave this promise to Cupid. I said he could come to Rasalila, and maybe someone will be bewildered by lust over there. Please help me. Radharani said, don't worry. I'll take care of it all. Don't worry. So then Rasalila night came. The moon was shining in full moon, tinged with red, and the flowers were blooming. Krishna blew his flute, and all the gopis came. And Cupid came also, trying to get somebody bewildered by lust. He came with his arrows of sound, form, taste, touch, and smell. Krishna blew in his flute, and they came. And as they began to dance, Radharani expanded her Ladini potency and touched everyone's heart with pure bhakti. She also touched Cupid's heart, and he became bewildered. He dropped his bow and developed great attraction for the beauty of Krishna. So Krishna's Leela went on, undisturbed by Cupid. Because Radharani's, she has that potency, that bhakti, that Ladini Shakti, and that can even defeat Cupid. So Radharani and the gopis, they're on the same status, but the gopis know Radharani is a better devotee than we are, better worshiper than we are. So what they want to do, all they want to do the whole day is join Radharani with Krishna. Take Radharani and give her to Krishna. So this is, they're not envious. Oh, Krishna loves Radharani so much. Should be me. No. They're very happy. They want to make Radharani and Krishna meet. So we should know that in this material world, we have these bodies, but actually we have the super soul in the body. And the senses, these bodies don't belong to us. The real enjoyer is the super soul in our heart. So there's a verse in Bhagavatam again about Mother Lakshmi. She is the reservoir of all spiritual qualities, but Krishna manifests and enjoys all the qualities of Lakshmi. So Lakshmi is the form of our bodies, senses, and minds. So that's quite interesting. Lakshmi, Narayana is, Krishna is in our heart. He's the enjoyer. And our senses, our body, our mind are expansions of Lakshmi. So that's why our body, our senses, our mind should be used to serve Krishna. And then we'll be happy, as we'll be connected with Krishna, who's the enjoyer, supreme enjoyer, and we will also enjoy. That is our nature. We want to enjoy. So if you carefully study the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani, you'll find a very interesting mark. There are many beautiful marks, but one of those marks is a sacrificial altar. So this mark on Radharani's lotus feet has three meanings. First of all, if you meditate on Radha Krishna's feet, Radharani's feet, then all your sins will be burned up just like an altar of fire sacrifice. Also, just as this universe is nourished by Brahmins offering fire sacrifices, similarly, you offer your mind in sacrifice to Radha Krishna's lotus feet, you will stimulate universal nourishment that affects all creation. Just give your mind to Krishna's lotus feet. Think about them, and you will help to nourish all of the universe, because we are all part of the Vishwarupa, the universal form of Krishna. So when, just like in our body, has cells. So when the cells are diseased, then the body suffers. So when people have wars and fight, then the universal body also, there's some pain there in some part of the body. But when we use our life to worship Krishna, put our mind on Krishna, then the universal body is healthy and happy, and then we can nourish. You can help nourish it. Now there is one more meaning of the sacrificial altar, which is my favorite meaning, and that is that whatever we see in this world, in this universe, is the form of Krishna, and the offering is the form of Radha. So when you take something, some fruit, flower, leaf, and water, give it. When you give it, that's Radharani. When you offer it, offering is Radharani. The thing is from Krishna. So they unite on the on the altar of sacrifice. So there also, when we chant the holy name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, and we chant, we bring Radha and Krishna together when we chant the holy name. So this is also very important. We'll talk about this a little bit later. But first, we'll talk a little bit more about the mentality of Radharani. We can hear in the Shikshastra of Lord Chaitanya, Shishava Paradampi. That the Lord, you may make me broken-hearted by not being present before me, but I still love you. You're still my worshipful Lord unconditionally. So when Krishna left the Rasadins, all the gopis went crazy. First, they were going from the trees and the creepers saying, have you seen Krishna? They were talking to the trees. They were talking to the creepers. And then when they didn't get any answer from them, then they just started imitating Krishna's pastimes, lifting Govardhan Hill and killing Dhenukasura, different demons. They started imitating, having dramas. And then after that, they started saying, I am Krishna. And they started playing the flute and they completely were merged with meditation and Krishna. And finally, they were chanting Hare Krishna. And you read Krishna book chapter 30. You will see at the end they were chanting 30, 31 at the end of the chapter. So the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is very, very important for us. It's called Radha Tantra. It's a method of worship of Radharani and gopis. So when we chant Hare Krishna, we're following in the footsteps of Radharani and the gopis. Srila Prabhupada, in his first lecture on the holy name, he analyzed it. He said, Hara, Krishna, and Rama are transcendental seeds of the Maha Mantra. And the chanting is a spiritual call for the Lord and his energy to give protection to the conditioned souls. We're praying for protection. This chanting is exactly like genuine cry of a child for its mother, for its mother's presence. Mother Hare helps the devotee get the Lord Father's grace. And the Lord reveals himself to the devotee who chants this mantra sincerely. So Radharani is our mother. When we chant Hare so many times, then we're calling her to help us. And then she, because I'm also a mother and I had a baby, and when the baby is really crying, um, um, like they really need you. Sometimes they just cry artificially, just for some attention. But sometimes they're really crying for help, and you can tell the difference. So we should also chant the holy name like that. We are crying for our mother, and Prabhupada advised us to cry for Krishna, to chant like a child crying for its mother, and to actually cry. We should actually cry when we chant. And that is, of course, that is Shikshastika. When will I tears flow from my eyes constantly as I chant? Well, that is a nice thing to hanker for, to desire for. So as the holy name of Mother Hare brings us to Krishna, and he accepts one who is sincerely chanting his holy name, according to Srila Prabhupada. So she's our mother. She will help us to worship Krishna and teach us also. There's a beautiful story from Vrindavan, which I will share with you. There's a place called Shivakoti, where there's a temple of Lord Shiva, and a small lake close to that temple. 5,000 years ago, there was a jackal drinking water from that lake. And, jackals are not respected animals. They're kind of low class. We can see, there's teams named after the lion, after the tiger, after the eagle, but not the jackal. There's no jackal teams. There's nobody likes jackals. So then sometimes if you're beautiful, you can dance like a peacock, but not like a jackal. Jackals. So some children were laughing at the jackal and making fun of it and beating it with sticks. And the jackal was crying in pain, and they were beating. And the jackal somehow ran away, and the children ran after it and were throwing stones at it. And then the jackal found a hole in the ground, jumped in the hole, and buried himself in the hole. The children were laughing, and they wanted to make this jackal suffer. They were yelling names in the hole, and they made a fire. They wanted to burn the jackal out so they could beat it more. And the jackal was screaming. Just at that time, Radharani and her gopi friends happened to be walking some distance away. And this was, 5,000 years ago, Radha and Krishna were on this earth. So she felt compassion. She told her friend Lalita, no one should be suffering like this. Go bring that living entity to me. So Lalita ran, saw the children waiting at the hole, and she chased all the children away. She put out the fire, and she reached in the hole with her hands and pulled out the jackal. She brought the jackal to Srimati Radharani. The jackal bowed down at Radharani's feet, and Radharani knelt down and patted her on the head and accepted her as her own eternal servant. And she gave that jackal the perfection of liberation, prema bhakti. So there is a symbolism of this story. The jackal is us, the fallen conditioned soul in illusion. We're in this material world. We're pure spirit, but such ananda, but somehow we're identifying with this jackal-like material identity, which is a very embarrassing situation for the soul. The children represent the threefold miseries of material existence: adhyatmika, miseries of one's own body and mind; adidaivika, miseries of too much heat, too much cold, earthquakes, tsunamis, rain, drought; and adibautika, miseries caused by other beings. And the fire is the burning fire of material existence. We sing every day, Samsara Davana Lila Loka. This world is like a forest fire, and the Guru is the rain cloud that can pour out this fire. Guru is representative of Srimati Radharani. And the jackal's cry is our humble calling out for the mercy of Srimati Radharani. When we chant her name with that sincerity, then she will help us and she will give us her heart. So there is hope for everyone. There is supreme hope. And how to access this great hope, how to access the means of deliverance is by chanting holy name sincerely. Of course, Bhagavatam does enlighten us with other means of getting free from the threefold miseries. There is a verse in Bhagavatam, 7th Canto, 15th chapter, I believe, verse 24, where it says you can counteract the miseries of adhyatmika, body and mind, by pranayama and yoga practice, hatha yoga. And Gita also says by regulation of eating, sleeping, work, regulating eating, sleeping, working, and recreation, we can become free from that misery of body and mind. And also the other miseries, the daivika, the miseries you can overcome by meditation and trance. So by chanting Hare Krishna, that is our meditation and trance, or by engaging in devotional service, which is under Radharani's control, that is our meditation and trance. And adibhaudika, caused by other living people, enemies, and sects. That we can counteract by non-enviousness and by seeing everyone equally, having good relationships with everyone. So this mercy, of course, even better than all those things, is to chant the holy name. And then we are directly approaching Radharani, begging her to help us get free from the miseries and to practice and to engage in loving service to Shri Krishna. So I will stop here. Is there any questions? Oh, there's no questions. I forgot. No questions. Yeah. Okay, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama.